Blessings, everyone. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's the 7th of February, Tuesday, I believe. Just checking here. So we're in a full moon energy, and have been for a few days. There's a sense of the expansion in terms of the planet, that is becoming more and more. I'm seeing more wisdom coming through, and I can see the tribal pathways that are open are sharing through the knowledge of the ancients. There was an earthquake in Turkey yesterday, apparently, and when I went out today, I've been sending and doing prayers and what I do to Gaia and the shift of the ages that we're in. And excuse me moving around, I've been out and I'm still feeling that I want to move. Anyway, there's a sense of how Gaia and her movement, which is always there, of course, and the ancient source, is coming together to support more and more life. And when I say that, that's always been there as well, but there's a shift in the consciousness, more light coming in, of course. And we're embodying these waves of energy through our whole being. I need to recognise that the movement and the waves, and particularly the waters of Gaia, and this really powerful surge of energy that's been coming in really since around 2000, where there were tsunamis and there's lots and lots of water, and the water was devastating to the communities that it was hitting in terms of loss. So the power of the pathways that I talk about and the tribes and this movement, it's really interesting talking about it, because I see this movement even in Edinburgh, and Edinburgh has now got lots and lots of spirit movement, I feel, from the tribes. There's many different cultures here, and there is a feeling of grace that I experience on the street, particularly with the Middle East and the Islamic community here. But more than that, it's much wider than that. So I'm really feeling into that energy. I always do. And being someone who likes to dance, who is part of me, I've always been a dancer, and I can feel this movement coming through me, and I'm observing and watching what's happening as everything is becoming very still, or it has become very still. really since 2020. There's a feeling also with this full moon of really being able to connect more deeply with who we are. My crystalline body, and there's a plasma light body there as well that I'm feeling. Over this past week, in terms of time, I've been doing lots of prayers, and I spent a few days really resting. And when I say rest, I actually felt that I was able to rest in a way that I haven't been able to do for a long time. So there was some kind of connection coming in for me personally in terms of bringing in more light and more of the crystalline energy being accepted, non-resistance. Being a human is this excuse me, feeling of resistance in the body. So there's been a powerful integration happened over the past week. My prayers are very deep now inside me, and I'm feeling a really beautiful movement happening along with the prayers and my connection with Gaia and the crystalline core of Gaia. So this is telling me that there is a deepening happening within the earth, and the feeling of the movement is blessed. It's the only way that I can describe it. It feels like a blessing that's coming up from the core of Gaia. So this earthquake yesterday in Turkey, Lotus spoke about it. I'm living with Lotus. He's from Kerala in India, and we've known one another for, feels like forever. We have known one another in terms of time for over 20 years. And there's a feeling of grace that I experience that comes through from Mother Earth. And he spoke to me about Turkey and about the earthquake yesterday. And just telling me about it. So, as everything in the earth is deeply connecting and it's also one source, then we have this feeling of joy that comes from connection. Any movement that's happening and is being portrayed, particularly on the web, as whatever words they might use, it depends where the source of the information is coming from. But it can feel as if there is for me it feels ego-based. It's portrayed as something which is not. We're not living inside the area that has had the movement and the loss of lives, of course. So we can't really have any opinion about it. There's a need to recognise that. And I feel like came in really powerfully in 2000 when the tsunami started, and there was a huge loss of life. And it was the start of the waves that were coming in. The waves have continued, and we're now, of course, embodying the waves of energy through us. So energetically, it's a shift in the movement that is contained within the earth, but also there's a feeling of a loss there. The loss is coming from the need to recognise that we're always living in loss. Every cell of our body is releasing. Every breath that we take, we're releasing. And that can be a strong feeling of loss without it being attached to the ego or to anything in particular. We're continually rebirthing ourselves. And there's a movement that is precious, I would call it, and that comes through us. It's the way that we identify with life. And it comes from deep feeling and knowing that we're safe. We will always live with loss, and we always have. And when we go back to the tribes, there's a feeling of balance, I feel, within the tribal communities, where they really know how to live. Creativity, nourishment, how they cook their food, or how they nourish themselves through Gaia and through their identity with the earth, regardless of whether they are, or what they are eating, I should say. It doesn't matter. It's an ancient and very old tradition to bless what we're consuming. And I feel it says everything in terms of how we nourish ourselves and our need to recognise that we're continually evolving through our cellular makeup. When we also identify with no time and are able to get into the rhythm of life and the timeless wisdom that comes through us and how we relate to our own being, and then we have a connection with prayer and the symbolism and the movement and the vision. Where all is one. Our dream and our vision, if you want to call it a dream, is actually a reality. And because we're able to realise ourselves. So India has the tradition, of course, of self-realization, and it's an energy that draws people in. And many people visit India. But India is a part of us. It's a universal source of energy directly feeding us from the universe and from our connection with Source, and the ability to nourish ourselves through many, many different avenues, many different ways, which is non-material. It's a powerful resource. When we tune into the sun and Solaris and this warmth and love that we feel from these energies, and the colour, the golden energy of the sun. We're living in a time which is full of golden light, regardless of the weather conditions and the climate and whatever is going on. There's a feeling of grace. So, as I'm speaking, if you can imagine that you're receiving golden light from the cosmos down through our body, and this wash of energy that is feeding us the nourishment of this golden light, then these energies are being felt by Mother Earth and her love for all of life. So the golden rays come through and they literally shower us and bless us in this beautiful golden light. And you can experience this anytime. You just need to ask and it will come through. It's a source of love. So I'm just sending a blessing through today to all of us. And this feeling of grace that I speak about, our connection with Mother Earth, and this movement that's happening in the earth, and asking for balance. Balance is a powerful word. It's been coming through me a lot over the past week, 2 weeks, more so. It's a continual balance, like my mantra. Not just for me, but for our earth, because we are Mother Earth. And so the more balance that we experience through our energy system, through our body, through the light body, the more that there will be a continual balance within humanity. And Mother Earth experiencing her need to keep all of us safe. Anyway, I'm just going to leave you with that. It's a strong message, and you might like to listen to it more than once. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.